Everyday Superpower signing in. The place where we talk about non-verbal communication, how to read body language, human dynamics, psychology, and game, yeah? Two links, as always, in the description of this video. One of them is going to take you to the catalogue of body language, where I'm going to teach you how to read the A to Z of non-verbal communication just by observing your fellow human being. You'll be able to read their mind without them even being consciously aware. Second to that, we have a link to the Patreon where you're going to join me in watching real life first dates. I'll show you attraction cues, repulsion cues. You'll internalize that, apply that to your day to day communications with whomever you deem attractive, and so on and so forth, and you'll become everything you've always dreamed of. Now, today we're going to talk about principles. We're going to talk about being a man and growing into your masculine frame, so to speak. Congruence with what you say and how you act, how you behave, and the person, the persona, the image, the mask you choose to wear in society, right? When you come into your 20s, at the very least, I'm hoping that you as a man start to leave behind any sort of disconnect from the mask you put on in public and the person you well and truly are. And that's not to say you have to be overt and, flaunt everything that makes you you in the sake that others will actually care. That's egocentric and it doesn't work that way, especially if we're going to talk about engaging with women and attracting women. They don't want to know your life story. They don't want to know everything to do with you. That would make you very boring in very short time. But what I am saying is, if you portray yourself as a tough guy, if you portray yourself as a creative, as an artist, if you portray yourself as Casanova reincarnated in the flesh, you're going to need to back that up, because otherwise it will come to light that you aren't the person you have spoken on being. And once somebody acknowledges that, at the very least, the subconscious mind is going to assess that, observe that, understand the non-congruence in your word and action, and put you in the filing cabinet with the rest of dishonorable, untrustworthy, not all the right people. Yeah? And let's be real, that's the majority of men out there, because they don't have knowledge of self. And if they do so, they go out of their way to overcompensate their weaknesses to a degree where they embarrass themselves by putting forward such an overt display which is against their true nature, that people see straight through that. And if they don't see straight through that, it's not long until the test is put forward, where these people have to act in a manner that reflects who they said they are, and it all comes crashing down. The facade is broken and the person can't be looked at in the same way again. So you as a man, you need to be principled, you need to have understanding of self, and you don't need to put your weaknesses and shadow out there in the world, but you need to understand who you are and sort of keep that aspect of you reserved, as opposed to attempting to conceal it with the counter opposite, manifesting it in your space, having it become your character. If you say you're going to do something as a man, you need to fall through and do it. And if you can't do it, there needs to be a very good reason. All right? The word is powerful, and you as a man need to be steadfast and sturdy on what you say you are and what you can do. You know? I got a friend who is in complete support of the police, yet the music he puts out is contrary. Well, I say friend, associate, right? I haven't made a friend in a long time, but an associate who is in complete support of the police force, fair enough. Who am I to say otherwise? But what he creates is the counter opposite and in promotion of less than pro social activities. And how can I trust you as a man if you're so clearly conflicted on who you are? You don't create with truth, you don't create with honesty. It's better off not creating something which is of contrast of your true belief. Why are you doing that? It makes me question that. Why are you doing that? You see this manifest with scared men. Scared men who are scared to ever get into any degree of physical confrontation, any degree of actual physical harm, but in order to fight that off, they will put forward that they are the toughest person on planet Earth. A lot of people see through it, believe it or not. And if they don't see through it, wait until the test is put forward and you're not the person you've always put out to be. You need to be principled. And if you're frightened of confrontation, it's not a means that you need to go around telling everybody you're frightened of confrontation. As I said, just don't go out of your way to pretend to be somebody you're not, because that makes you a pretender. Are we all to some extent wear some degree of social mask? It's a necessity, right? But to what extent you stray from who you truly are can become incredibly problematic in the eyes of another man, let alone the women who may possibly see through your malarkey. And let's say that woman doesn't see through it. Wait until she gets in connection and communication with a man who they can trust, who they can rely on. Because there's a running theme of what comes out of this person's mouth is relative to the action they take and the complete and honest ownership of what they are and where they're heading and who they truly are. You see where I'm coming from? Be principled, be honourable, and understand that there's people around you who are like lions and are looking for weakness in your character and flaws in who you are, and that's not down to their conscious understanding. There is a biological impulse in the man to be number one and to find out and to hunt out that element in others in order to feel comfortably superior and secure in oneself. When you reach a certain age, you should have got enough on your plate and you should be aspiring and driving to attain such fulfillment and success as far as your own personal pursuits and purpose is concerned that you needn't lie, that you needn't talk fluff. That's a childish trait. It's an unreliable trait, and as far as what a woman would be concerned, how can I procreate with this man? There's a man over there who doesn't lie and who is confident in himself, and he says half of what this man says. He keeps his mouth shut half of the time, but whatever he comes out with is of complete understanding of his own self-worth. He might not have what this man has. He might not have the backing, the support, the friendships that this man has. But for some strange reason, I have a bold biological pull to this man because I know he'll look after me. I know he'll give me the truth first and foremost. And because of that, I trust him. I don't trust this man. And even though I trust this man 99.9%, that's not 100%. I trust that man and I don't trust that man. Regardless of the numbers, there's a discongruence there. And even if I'm not aware, as the woman, even though I'm not aware of what is wrong with this man, my gut feeling, my feminine intuition, my survival process, my generation upon generation of hardwiring in order to keep me on this planet, in order for me to have been birthed through this multiple generational cycle of women giving birth and finding people to procreate with, that's getting triggered by the behaviors of this man. I might consciously not be aware of what it is, but I feel uncomfortable. Uncanny valley, right? That was some food for thought. If you find it hard being truthful and understanding who you are and the persona you put out in the world, I'd recommend you do a little bit of meditation on oneself and you start to work towards things that are above and beyond you, so you actually can start to understand your own limitations, your own boundaries, start to surpass and smash them limitations and boundaries over the days, over the months, over the years. Then you won't have to lie to nobody because who you are is above and beyond the next man. On that note, I'm signing out. Click like and subscribe. You know it.